So chapter 8, Shloka 18. Avyaktad Vayataya Sarva Prab Avante Ayar Agame Vatreya Agame Pralayante Travayakta Samjake. When Brahma's day is manifest, this multitude of living entities comes into being, and at the arrival of Brahma's night, they are all annihilated. The less intelligent jivas try to remain within this material world and are accordingly elevated and degraded in the various planetary systems. During the daytime of Brahma, they exhibit their activities, and at the coming of Brahma's night, they are annihilated. In the day, they receive various bodies for material activities, and at night, these bodies perish. The jivas, individual souls, remain compact in the body of Vishnu, and again are manifest at the arrival of Brahma's day. When Brahma's life is finally finished, they are all annihilated and remain unmanifest for millions and millions of years. Finally, when Brahma is born again in another millennium, they are again manifest. In this way, the jivas are captivated by the material world. However, those intelligent beings who take to Krishna consciousness and chant Hare Krishna Hare Rama in devotional service transfer themselves, even in this life, to the spiritual planet of Krishna and become eternally blissful there, not being subject to such rebirths. Domenica, yesterday when we were reading the slokas, they were talking about like how long a day is in Brahma, and it's like I'm trying to see, but you can see like in this sloka they're talking about how long each of the yugas last, and there were 4 yugas, and we're in the Kali Yuga, which is something we've been experiencing for the past 5,000 years, and that yuga lasts 432,000 years, but some of the other ones last like over 1 million.
So a yuga is like a period of time?
Yeah, so it's like the period of time we're in now.
Is Kali?
Kali Yuga, yeah, that's what we're in now. So these are the different 4 yugas or ages. So Satya, Treta, Dvapara, and Kali.
What does Kali mean?
So
do we know?
What?
What does Kali mean? Do we know?
Yeah, it's like the worst age to be in. Like they say Satya is characterized by virtue, wisdom, and religion. There being practically no ignorance and vice. And then we moved into the age of Treta. And then in Treta, vice was introduced. And in Dvapara, there's a greater decline in virtue and religion. Vice is increasing. And then we have Kali Yuga, which we've been experiencing. There is abundance of strife, ignorance, irreligion, and vice, true virtue being practically non-existent. So that's why Amanda will tell us, like, there's so many people that are walking around, like, you know, in this, these are my words, but like unaware because we're in this Kali Yuga. But then we'll cycle back to the Satya Yuga.
So
yeah.
I Googled Kali to find out what the literal meaning is.
Yeah.
And at least in this thing, it's she who is black or she who is death, and another one is just plain black. Anyway, so that's what the literal translation is.
Yeah, and there is a goddess Kali. I don't know. I've learned of her, but I can't repeat what I learned because I can't remember. But I remember like Suji talking to us about her, and like this hand mudra is Kali, and they talk about how like your fingers up being her sword, the sword. So like when you're in like, oh, you probably couldn't see, but like I remember learning like this, like when you're talking about like satya or truth, you could use the sword to like cut through the lies.
That's my one of my yoga teachers makes us put our hands in that position all the time.
Yeah, it's a common position. I mean,
Yeah.
but we learned, I think Sue and I learned in the last book we read that every single thing you do in yoga has some sort of meaning.
Mhm.
Okay.
But Brahma lives.
So we're like pioneers in this Kylie.
Yeah, so like, yeah, I feel like anyone doing the work in here is like ahead of the game. But that's why I think it's so much struggle.
Makes
So
sense.
it says these four yugas rotating 1,000 times comprise one day of Brahma, and the same number comprise one night. That's why, like, that's a long time. So yesterday we were talking about how long, like, how crazy time is. Like, thinking about how all these, like, so that's why in this sloka, when they're talking about one day and one night, they're not talking about like our daytime and our nighttime. They're talking about like a ridiculously long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, I started thinking the other day, and I was talking to my husband about this, how like all these different religious texts from all different parts of the world have some similarities. And so I started wondering, like, was it just there was this event that happened, and then every
I'm gonna
sort of
stop.
culture or country wrote about it in a different way, you know, and then that's why there's all these different texts, but really they all mean the same thing. I don't know. That's a crazy thought, and I don't know enough about the history.
In the Fertile Crescent Valley is where everybody started. Remember from high school, they would teach that.
Like Eve and Adam.
Oh, I don't know about even Adam, but like in actual history, the Fertile Crescent Valley was one of the was one of the first civilizations of humans. It was like the cradle of civilization, they call it.
I must have been sleeping during that.
What?
I don't remember that. I must have been sleeping.
Oh, maybe.
You missed that day.
It's like it's by the Nile, right? I think the Nile was one of right that area, like by these rivers.
Yes. Yeah.
What's the other river? Anyway, that's where most of civilization started. So we were like one big tribe, and then slowly the tribe separated. Like I remember when we were reading a Passover, my husband, there's like a section of the Haggadah where they say like they left, they went over the river and left. And so you have these Abrahamic religions that are starting, but like it all started in the same place where the yogis were, and then the Jews left, and then you know out of Judaism you have Christianity, but also Abraham I think is like what Islam comes out of too. So there was Judaism and Islam. It's like all from the same source. It's just a little game of telephone.
Yeah, that's the sense that that's what I'm getting. Because I was raised Catholic, and then I had some Jewish friends, so I like some of their what is it called? I don't know. I've been to some of their services because they were like fun and stuff, and I'm like just learning about it, and now I'm like, oh, it's kind of similar, and now this sounds kind of similar, so it's just so interesting to me.
Yeah, like I have a friend who got into sort of the esoteric Kabbalah of Judaism, and she would always be texting me. She's like, "This is exactly like yoga. They have the chakra system. This is what they say about the nadis. Like, it's all from the same thing. Essentially, it's just like different interpretations that they kept walking further and further away, and then making their own thing of it. Like with the is it the Silk Road? There was so much trade that, like, you know, every time I talk about Ayurveda, people who practice TCM are like making comparisons to traditional Chinese medicine. Acupuncture started with Ayurveda, and then, you know, now it's like a big deal with traditional Chinese medicine, but like all kind of comes from a similar origin.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Lucy likes to climb underneath me. She's in my hoodie. Do you see this?
Yeah, I see.
Yes.
She passed out.
Aww.
Like a gopher or something.
Oh my god, it's so funny. She did this when I was taking your class the other day, Amanda. When I was laying on the floor, she climbed under me, and I'm like, oh my god, it looks like I have like a 9-month pregnant belly laying on the floor. But it's the only way to get her to stop scurrying around.
What a strange
Amanda, we were
dog.
gonna what?
What a strange dog.
Yes.
So strange. Yeah. You know, I love having her, but she changed a little bit because I got a Doberman the past year, so she's a little bit more aggressive now. So not in a violent way, but she's a lot more skittish than she used to be. A lot calmer. Also, they give her little drops that I haven't given her, so that probably isn't helping her attitude. But anyway, we were gonna end a little early because Sue has sprinklers, so we were gonna read, and the next Shloka doesn't even have a explanation, so we'll start that tomorrow, and we'll move to breath and start our meditation a little early today.
Okay.
So we'll take some rounds of alternate nostril breath and maybe some bumblebee breath today, and sitting up nice and tall. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And taking your right hand over to your face, close the right nostril with the thumb, inhale through the left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Continuing on in a few more rounds. If you're ready to move on, you'll exhale out the left side. If not, you can continue your rounds. We'll take a few rounds of bumblebee breath, closing the ears with the thumbs. These fingers over the eyes. Inhale and exhale with the lips sealed, creating a vibration as you exhale, sounding like a bumblebee. And then set the timer for 20 minutes. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart. Namaste.